time of his death, he had to, although I ran on lease for him for the last 7 or 8 years, but he still had to be out in those paddocks with his stick every day of the weekend. He had to get out and had his fowls. Had to be out and around the sheep. And a lot of things wrong, and she's on the phone to me, and I had to be up there smartly.
And we lived across the paddocks from my father and mother,
right,
and they used to go around for morning tea every Sunday morning, one or the other, they'd get one case or the other for morning tea.
They'd have been the only ones to celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary, wouldn't they?
Yes, yes. They
Yeah.
celebrate that in the hospital.
Yeah, that's right.
Were Wesley family, the family was a friend.
They're both in the hospital for just on 2 years.
Yeah.
But Dad wasn't. Mother was in the hospital for
Yeah,
just on
that's
2
right.
years. The Dad was on
Yeah, you did.
a few months.
Yeah.
And they celebrated the
Afternoon tea, didn't they?
out in the hospital for a very nice afternoon tea and that for them.
That was in the newspaper, wasn't it?
Always possible.
At the time.
Yeah,
I thought it was too. But the Dad was only in the hospital a short while, but he sort of stuck it out at home on his own. He wouldn't have anybody with him. And a check-up job every morning, a check-up job every night, make sure he was inside, away from his fowls, and fall over in the fowl house. But anyhow, one morning we went up there and he was just about in a state of collapse. And anyhow, my sister came in from Wyeth and straight to the hospital there and lived about a fortnight. But then the mother, she passed on about 2 months afterwards exactly. But there was a farmer from the day from the time he left school to the time he passed away.
That's true.
Yeah, he was out there every morning with his boom handle walking stick in the paddock.
Full story, Cyril, about he when they came home from church. He and Dad and Uncle Norm, wasn't it? No, you probably know it better than I do. And they came home from church and they were all in their white shirts and their dark trousers.
Dad was in that.
And your father, and they were all sent off to get the cows, and they didn't change their shirts, and Uncle Deegs it was, wasn't it, that held onto the cow's tail, and he said, "I'll get a ride home," he said, and he was holding onto the cow's tail, and the worst happened all over his way. That was before they got to church, wasn't it?
I've forgotten about that. Yeah. Yeah.
The same thing happened to me. We had an old cow with all off Mount up there. You remember?
Yes.
She was all Mount, always called Mount. She was an old white one. I was going down the paddock. I had to go and get the cows, and I holding on to the tail. She kicked my front teeth out. Old bitch. You got a free those days. You get a free ride on the end of the tail and hold on. She was always Mount after them. That's where she came from, up Mount. Those days, a lot of barter, didn't you?
Oh yes. Dogs and
cow or dog or something, another a few bags of chaff for a cow. I buy that. Was that part of the old Dunvegan, or did they buy it from somebody else?
Dunvegan, oh.
Stop trying to hide it.
McLeod's, whatever land the McLeod's got at Mount Bruce was, the roadbank must have been part of it.
Yes, I presume it probably was. He must have transferred them that part to grandfather when your father had it, sort of thing, was that, prior to that?
Yeah, it was leased. It was leased to when they broke up the partnership in the mill. I don't know whether grandfather Wyeth got the Mount Bruce property and the Curry Wapapot Road in it, or whether he bought it afterwards. I wouldn't know. You might know that.
No, I wouldn't know. No, I wouldn't know. I just wonder whether. I wouldn't know, but.
The McLeod's.
Well, McLeod's originally did own the piece where you were on. And the McLeod name shows first on the thing for that.
I never knew that.
No, well, what the name was down. Henry Christensen was down in Wellington, getting all this information.
Yeah.
And that was McLeod before it became Wyeth.
Oh, well,
that's the old Arnie's piece.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Well, I never knew that either.
Never told that.
And it shows on one, even I've got an old map. There's a very old map at home of the area up there. And that shows on that as McLeod's. One of the original, no, it's not, one of the original survey maps.
Well, grandfather Wyeth probably got that, and it's a settlement from the mill.
That's possible. When they divided up there, possibly.
That was a partnership.
No, they bought that.
Huh?
They bought it from.
No, what happened there?
Grandfather, they must have bought it from McLeod then.
No, Jew or something like that. There must have been different owners in between then.
Well, possibly it could have been a.
I wouldn't know.
Geordie Jew.
Something like that, yeah.
There was a Geordie Jew. I remember Dad talking Geordie Jew, but
learned that in the school.
You reckon Dad and them, that was grandfather before it was ever Dad and your father's though? Your dad and your father leased it, didn't they?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was always grandfather's, wasn't it?
Yeah, but see, he had the section in the back.
Yeah, you had the 1,000 acres out onto the pure
And
water.
they never had that there at all. I remember, and they had no sort of frontage that way, and they bought that bit. I remember Dad's even just to, he paid too much, you know, he paid £10 an acre to get that. And he was still sad at the finish.
Now, would that be just the front part then, would it, Ron? Now, there appears on the map as if there's a division about the Wyeth or at the back or somewhere about the
that's where the boundary would be.
the front part, and all the back part joined onto the other 1,000 acres.
Yeah, that's what they bought it for, to get it.
To get access to
Yeah,
the
they'd
front.
see Christensen's and all those sections, and that one there, all there, but they had to pay
Yes,
£10 an acre.
for that front block.
I mean, that's, he was going, still, far too much.
Hard to bear,
For those, and I don't know what they got, they had to, the bits out the back, what they'd get that in for, that'd only be sort of, that was taken right in the early days, but they wouldn't pay, sort of a lease for a start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it would be,
Leaf type thing, yes.
but anyway, then,
They bought
we'll
the front,
get that, well then he bought the front bit.
and gave the access.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Ted Peterson, he managed it there for a while, didn't he?
Did he? I wouldn't know that, did he?
Did
he?
When
Peterson.
when they first married.
Yeah,
His
yes.
son went up there.
Did they up
There's
to,
in
yes.
that book
Yeah.
there, they went up
Yeah,
the
yes,
road.
yes.
Yeah.
That little cottage is still standing, isn't it?
That's the front cottage,
That's-
yes.
That's
That's
your
that's where I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't go to hospital those days.
That's right.
Going back to the old tradition.
That was the old nurse Spillman was still about those days, apparently, but she was,
She's got it.
yes,
Because I think that was around when I was born.
yes, she was there when Peg was born. Peg was born at home. She was born in the front room at home.
So she had a home nursing home in town.
Yeah, down here at home, though.
Yeah.
Down Hawkins, I mean.
Yeah. They still didn't get off.
No, she was born in the spare room up there. Remember the day she was born so well, yeah? Yeah.
Amazing.
And that was their Spillman then. She stayed a day or two and went on the way,
Yeah.
she went again.
Could
She
she be
doesn't
no chick
remember,
then?
but I remember.
Should be no chick then?
No, she was in quite an old lady by then.
How true.
Remember, clearly is one thing.
Wasn't it
Clearly
lucky
is
that
one
you had
thing.
a sister?
Of course, but Bill Tansley, he was, when we left, I can first remember Bill Tansley was manager of Dunvegan.
Yeah.
Bill Tankard, yeah?
Bill Tinker.
Yeah, Bob Tanker's father.
Which one's he?
Bob's father. Yeah,
Bob's, oh yes, Bob's.
Bob's and Helen's father.
Bob and Helen father, ah, yes, yes,
He
yes.
was the manager, he was the manager of Dunvegan.
I've done back with
Bill
him.
and Lizzie.
Was he
Until
Well,
they
he
was
milked
a
the cows,
relationship.
didn't he milked the cows there, did he?
I think he probably did, yeah.
There's a relationship between the Tankersleys and the McLeods, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Married to Mary too.
Mm.
He left there and he bought a place up at Mariah, but he only lived a few years. He died,
Oh, that's right.
he died of pneumonia.
and he died, yes.
2 or 3 years after he left there. And his brother, his son Tim, sort of about young fellow, 14 and 15 and 16 at the time, he carried on.
Went up there, yes,
That's right.
yes. Tim and Bob, yeah, Bob's brother.
Yeah. I think Tim's son's got it now, I think.
I'm sure he has, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're second cousins of you guys, aren't they?
Yes, that'd be right, wouldn't it?
That's Tom's sister's family. Elizabeth Wyeth married
The Tankers.
married a Chamberlain, had Lizzie, who married
Oh.
Tankersley, and Tim was the oldest son.
That's right.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Oh, yes.
And Helen's still alive.
Yes, I see that they go up the street the other day. I can see how they're going up the street.
Right,
the other day.
still the road, still
She was up there at the hall.
And after Chamberlain died, she remarried
A
MacLeod,
few days ago.
Sandy MacLeod.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
right. That's right.
Now, they had no children of that family.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, they were the MacLeod, or Douglas and
That's
But
Doug
Doug had a
and
sister.
Ida.
I remember.
She died very young.
Yeah, that's right. So four was very sexy.
As their mother was a wife.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. They were held their brother. All over.
Very sort of anemic sort of.
Well, they married brothers and sisters. In that case, both
Yeah,
did.
that's right, that way and that way.
Dad married, at least granddad married a
Yeah.
McLeod. And McLeod married granddad at a second marriage. That'd be right, wouldn't it? Now, see it?
Marion, do you remember when we all had Christmas? You mightn't remember it. I only just remember hearing of it.
And it was Lizzie out of there who married the Tankersleys.
David.
William
David.
Tankersley?
Had a hole in his
Yeah.
head.
Oh, that was old Lizzie that was down here at Double Plain. That was
All wanted
She was
to
cousin
go
Lizzie.
to
yeah, cousin Lizzie, wasn't she? You know, Dad used to be down big tall.
It was, and it was
Oh, she was a great
It's the same.
it shows
Like I know she's dead, but I just don't
She's
know.
Helen's
That was Helen's mother, wasn't it?
Helen's mother.
Yeah.
Helen's mother.
And Helen still lives in the house now, doesn't she?
Helen and Bob and Helen and Bob and the one that Hooks Bay that you were talking about.
That was how
Yeah.
managing the place.
Tim.
That's right. That was her husband.
And that's how it got its hole in it, yes.
Oh, this was the two. That was the two.
Oh, yes, they did.
That was the first family. Now they were half.
David married.
She was a half sister, Doug McLeod. Then that-
Yeah.
I get it
Margaret,
now,
I
yeah,
find
yeah,
those
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
he was.
They
They were all
don't
beautiful. They were all.
They
Those three were
His
all
head's laying down on the ground. So
her
I think
children.
it was a-
Somebody was saying before that their father worked for Doug McLeod. Is that Doug
But she was
McLeod?
grandfather's
That's right.
sister.
Marion's father.
Marion's
She married a Chamberlain, and they had Lizzie, and then he died, and she married Sandy. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got that right? And they had Douglas and Ivy, and she was the one that, well, one of them did.
Ivy died quite
Ivy
young.
died quite when she was
Yeah.
20 or
Mm.
21
Something
or
like that,
something.
yeah, she's grown up and yeah.
Yes,
Inside,
right, yes, here we go. Yes, that's some good
Well, I sort of knew, I couldn't remember how it tamed
Yes,
in, but I
yes,
remembered
yes,
because.
Well, let's move on to your dad, Noel.
Well, Ron's, so he's a lot older than me. You know, his father was older than Dad.
No, we're going from the youngest.
We're
Well, you can help me out.
going from youngest.
Oh, we're going up.
We're going up. We're not going down. We're going up. You're first.
He was a good father.
Well,
Now we'll hear some stories.
he was a very good father. I know, but I just, no, he farmed all his life. He and Uncle Norm were
Partners.
partners in the 1,000 acres of Grandad's up there, weren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know, but prior to that, when they first left school, they were both, I think, on the Poison Rabbits on the 1,000 acre block, and it where
Yes.
In
I
the
think
back
all the
block.
boys actually. I
Well, they
think
probably
we
all
met.
took their
The
turn
older
at
Cyril's
it.
father
the
too.
Rabbits those
He's the
days were
boy.
one of the big problems at Mount Bruce, weren't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
And they spent all their early days, as soon as
That's all
left
they
school,
did,
I'd say
poison
they-
rabbits. Poison
Poison
rabbits.
Poison rabbits. And then
Trapping too.
trapping later on, trapping came into it.
Yeah.
But Uncle Norm and Dad were all, I don't know how many, fair number of years they farmed there, didn't they, together on leasing from grandfather.
Oh, yes, must be.
While they were there, they bought the 40 acres out of Packy here, didn't they?
Yes, that's right.
They
That'd be
bought
right,
it in
yeah.
partnership, and then
Yeah.
Dad left to come down to
Hawkers.
Hawkhurst when I was a year old, which would have been 1923. And he sold out to your father.
Well, he took
Yeah,
over
Packy.
the took the lease over.
Well,
Well, we buy out the...
Your father bought him out that 20 acres part of it down there.
Oh.
And Dad bought Hawkhurst.
So,
Those days he paid £12 an acre for it, and he always, as long as he had it, he said he paid too damn much. He said it was too damn dear.
It'd still be cheaper than that, what they paid up there, £10 for that stony stuff out up the top there, though, wouldn't
Yeah, well.
it? But just to get frontage on it.
Yes, well, that's right. Yes, and under those circumstances, it probably was
Like in those
cheaper.
days.
But yes, in those days, but it, you always reckon it was, it was too dear. But again, like Cyril, they had the team, and they just worked
Yeah.
the teams did all the work until I drove the team. The same as Ron, you were in the team days too.
Oh,
probably,
yeah, oh, yeah.
until it was about the beginning of the war. After the war, there was a change over to tractors, and so the change came. But that's why I left. Well, I left school and started driving a team straight away with Owen. At that stage, went to Kaituna onto his own block, and I took over the team job. prior to that we'd have varying chaps who used to work with us.
Charlie
Charlie Robinson, he went on to Uncle Norm's and worked there for quite a few years later.
If they were there from 1923, when did your grandfather start on that property?
On the top, this was the top.
The 1,000-acre bit.
Well, the original rights from when the leases first.
I'd say they were the first. I think they
Yeah.
must have been the first ones, and that's why, whether there was MacLeod money in it or not, but it's definitely on this original thing at home that is MacLeod was the first name on that.
They
Down
might
that
have
block.
had to guarantee it. No, they might have had, he might have had to go guarantor or something.
Not impossible, because I don't think there was
Because,
any doubt that
you know,
MacLeod one was the one that had money. Granddad was the worker.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
often
No,
had-
Sandy MacLeod had money. You know, that was.
But you often had to have
arrangement.
trustees or something to be guarantors. It could have been
Yeah, but
something like that.
I
couldn't
wouldn't
it?
know whether old Sandy was in the, because
I
if you
think
just
that'd
took
be
up a
separate.
block those days, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
You know, you took up a block. He might have even been in the
The
name.
original, he might have taken the original.
He could have
and then
taken the
leased
original and then
leased to these
sold
other
it or
people.
whatever. What he could have done.
Because they
as I
milled
say.
a lot of that too, didn't they, from there as well as down below, didn't
They did up that side there. That went down to the mill.
they? I
at
think
the-
it went down to.
Yeah, they tried to cross the road and get down there. I don't know.
Well, there was a mill road. What about the mill
No,
road?
the
See,
old
that
mill
one,
road.
the old mill road was in the middle of the plantation, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Patterson
true, yeah.
plantation.
And you-
That was the mill road.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That,
there
they
was a
called it the
mill-
old mill road and
Yeah,
road.
and that mill was right opposite. There was a mill right opposite there on the other side, the paddocks there. We planted it up a few years ago, but that mill was
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
the
I
major
can
mill.
remember just seeing the
Where
uprights.
it
and that,
is.
yeah.
But that was right opposite.
But that, and the last mill, that all comes from Mount Bruce, didn't it? Up that
Right in
way.
the back of the Tamara, you know, it went through Grandad Wyeth's place
Yeah.
and right into the back into the bush, didn't it? So remember we had a big picnic in there
We had a
once,
picnic
remember?
in there once, remember?
Yes.
Yes, we went right to the back of it.
That was when
and
they
had
were
the
milling
picnic.
in there.
No.
And it-
No.
No, you're
that's
thinking
different
MacLeod.
road. That's different.
You're thinking when Daniels went in about
Yeah, that's
1938.
what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
No, that was
yeah.
way later. That
Oh, yeah,
other,
this would be
that other
before.
mill down at
50,
Oh,
60 years.
yes.
down at Dunvegan and closed many years
Yeah.
before
Oh,
our
yes,
time.
yes, that's
Yeah.
right, but that was still, that was
Yes.
a continuation sort of milling that
Sure,
wide
at the
block.
back.
Yeah.
But I imagine that probably readers in those places were milled at, I don't know whether, I've never heard of another mill on the flats there,
No,
apart
no,
from
that's,
the
no,
MacLeod.
no, well, not that long ago.
Yeah.
No, all that, the tram lines, remember them, you
Yeah.
know, around is there, all around there.
Up to
And all
there.
that timber, I didn't know, the timber comes from there,
Down-
down, that was all down there, but now that
Down-
they'd have to cross the main road and things and.
Well, because there's no
Well,
main road over those days.
No, that's right.
It would only
But
be
then you
the
had
No,
a
no,
track,
no.
wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a right of way through,
Oh,
wasn't it?
sure. And that were no doubt the right of way down the old mill road to the river and
Yep, yep.
across.
The old MacLeod mill, was that Sandy MacLeod's or was it his father's?
Sandy.
Sandy. Thomas Wyeth.
He started it, did he? Him and
As I know he and grandfather started, I don't know.
I think so.
yeah.
I'd say, would you? I don't know
Yeah,
whether
far as I know, it was just-
one was ahead of the other. I've never heard that they were. I think they just started up the.
But MacLeod and Wyeth.
I'll take it up.
He had
But it was on
money.
MacLeod land.
Yep.
No, definitely, definitely,
right?
definitely.
Well, it'd probably be leasehold, you know, the government, what did they used to call that lease, something?
Yes, for government lease.
Oh,
Yeah.
Government lease, like all your high country down south, still
99,
government lease, isn't it?
99 years.
Education lease for some.
Education lease.